Going? Kampai. Hey, what? Wait. Ah. Hey. I was relying on that. That's a little bit slow. Hey, I'm here doing something a little bit different. Yeah. So, we got camera mounted here. We have the Cascade set up here instead of my usual microphone. This is a ribbon microphone, and it needs a lot of gain in order to actually work. So, as a result, the noise floor is a lot higher, so you might hear a little bit of a buzz whenever I'm talking. Let's get a little sneak preview of that. Yeah, there's the Cascade right there. There you go. Get some of that Cascade action. All right, anyways, so what up? We're doing some music making today. We got the whole setup here. I got the chat here. It would have been handy if I could have controlled like all of my music software and stuff from here too. I couldn't really get that set up, but whatever, it's fine. Here's the thing. There's not really much of a goal for today. Basically, give me a second. Basically, the plan is to just have fun. I have all of this music equipment here, and so I want to make some noises on my mini Logue here, which is what I have set up, the Korg mini Logue. There we go. We have the Korg mini Logue. It's my analog synthesizer. It's more of an entry-level synthesizer, so it's pretty cheap. But I love this thing, actually. I've been playing with it a lot. So we're going to make some noises with this. There's a few songs I need to tackle, and there's also just a few other ideas that I've played around with just to, like, practice with this and my bass, which is also new. Let's get a good look at that. The TRBX. We will probably not use the TRBX tonight. That's because the amp that I have for it, annoyingly, whenever you use the line out, it does not it does not bypass the speaker. So basically, the actual amplifier will be on, and it is nighttime here. So unfortunately, that means that my downstairs neighbor would probably hear all the bass and it'd probably result in the cops getting called on me again. So let's not have that happen. So no bass for today. So sorry about that. The original plan was to have this to have the stream during the day, but there's been internet problems and all sorts of stuff, and I just said, fuck it, we're doing this today. Sorry, I shouldn't talk and drink at the same time. Anyways, so this is going to be the normal stream. No TRBX today, but we are going to fiddle around with the mini Logue here that I have set up. We'll make some noises. I have a couple of, like I said, I have a couple of practice projects. There's also a couple of other projects that I do need to get started on for like other things related to my game or whatever else. Maybe if I'm feeling up to it, we'll try to tackle that. We'll just see how I'm feeling. The other thing I wanted to do is that, so I've also recently purchased some new music, and rather than wait until the end of the year where, I reviewed a bunch of the new music I had purchased throughout the year as a little bonus stream, I think I'm just going to kind of throw that in here occasionally if I'm feeling spicy. So I will maybe occasionally take a pause just to talk about some music I'm listening to right now and give a short review on it. So this is all music related. Music I'm listening to, music I'm making, instruments I bought. I've wasted a lot of money, and hey, by the way, I have spent more money on music equipment. Ideally, my main setup is over there where I normally stream. That's my computer and all that. So occasionally I'm gonna have to step away for a moment so I can fiddle with software. And so ideally it would be nice to have a microphone over there. Unfortunately, my audio card, my whatever you want to call it, DAC, whatever. It only supports 2 inputs, and one of those is the synth that I fucked up, and the microphone. So yeah, I actually just purchased I just purchased a mixing console, so I could actually route everything into the mixing console, and then route the mixing console's output into my DAC, and then that way, I do the mixing here and there, and the mixing console has like way more inputs, but that's not here. That's not here yet, so we're just making do with what we have. Would have been handy if I had it for today, but I don't. So, anyways, with that being said, so you already heard me play some sounds here. We do have so my keyboard here, my MIDI controller here. This is an Arturia Keylab. Now currently they have the Arturia Keylab Mark II. This is not the Mark II. This is the Mark I. All this equipment that I bought is used equipment, saving money. The main reason why I really wanted an Arturia Keylab is because of the keys and not necessarily the control surface on the top. The control surface is nice. I use that a little bit. It is kind of a pain to get set up because there are, I don't know if you can, the synthesizer's in the way. There are like finger drum pads over here, but I have not gotten those set up. I'm tapping them right now. You can probably hear that. But obviously it's not making any noises, so they're not set up properly yet. So there's that. Anyway, so I have the Keylab set up to control the synthesizer right now. So if I want, I can use either the tiny little key bed here, which actually I don't hate this thing, surprisingly. But I can also use my Keylab to control it. I'm not a good pianist. Let me establish that. I'm not a good pianist at all. In fact, I'm a terrible one. I had to grab a drink. So, anyways, enough rambling. What's up? You can use one of my inputs. Hey. So anyways, so I also wanted to mention, so since we're here to make noises, just, getting set up for this stream and kind of testing, positions and oh, okay, sorry. It looked like the stream over here had frozen. Anyways, so getting ready for this stream, I also kind of noodled around a little bit on the synth, and I came up with some pretty cool synth sounds. So obviously this is one of them. This little sparkly thing. Now what you're hearing is actually there's a few different effects going on with it. So we have. I'm getting a call. What up? Wait. No, I can't hear you. Hang on. I have headphones in. What? Hey, say hi.
What's up?
Alright, cool. I'm streaming right now. No, I'm streaming right now. I don't know. Maybe 12 o'clock? Maybe 1 a.m.? I don't know. Okay, well, they can hear you, so nothing private. Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Right on. Okay. Anyways, so as I was saying, So this sound here has some effects on it. If we check, we have a little bit of refractions. Refractions is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Refractions is a new effect I recently purchased, and it can make really pretty stuff, but I have a really hard time utilizing it. I'm not here to give you a tutorial on refractions, so I'm not going to talk too much about refractions. But anyways, in this case, refractions is working pretty well, and created a pretty nice effect. Let me show you what it's like without refractions. So you can see refractions was adding all those additional little particles to the sound to it. So, but with refractions turned off, now it's just the sound by itself. And then of course we have Supermassive on here. Supermassive is a great reverb. So I keep forgetting to switch the camera back. There we go. Supermassive is great reverb that's making it really spacey. But now it's turned off, so we just have the sound itself. So there we go. So this was a sound that I had kind of made earlier with a little help from some plugins, you know. So we have refractions and Supermassive. There's also EQ to shelf off the super low end to get rid of some of the bass. And then also there's a compressor on there just to reduce peaking on it. So those don't really affect the sound too much, so I'm not bringing those up. I'll turn those back on, and we can preview the sound with everything put together once again. So it sounds like this. Ooh, that hurt my ears. Okay, and something I actually quite like about this sound, let me switch the camera. Something I quite like about this sound is it's pretty dynamic. We can change, which one is it? I think it's the, I made a note in its name. Hang on, let me. Yeah. If I turn this down, it kind of becomes more of like an E-piano sound. And then if I turn it up, so it brings out a little bit of the synthiness. It's pretty subtle, but we can when we turn down the EG int right here, which is just kind of like the filter modulation. I have yet to have actually read the manual for this damn thing, so I don't actually know what EG int is. It's not a common term I've seen on a lot of my software synthesizers, so I don't know what that is. But anyways, it works like an attack mod, so that's all I need to know. But if we turn down the filter, we can make it a little bit more E-piano-y. Sounds a little like Corridors of Time. I don't know what that is, but it's a cool name. So anyways, yeah, this is a little sound I had just a patch that I had made while I was kind of testing things out. I'll kind of go through some of the other patches that I've made with this thing as well. Just hang on a second. So if we look over here, I have a few different projects loaded up. We'll come back to this one that I'm on right now. This one is but it's just a lot of MIDI. Don't worry about it. But I have these other practice projects that I can show off. So I have this project here. This one, actually, I probably won't do anything with. It was kind of more of a just fucking around with the TRBX. Fucking around the TRBX and also my synthesizer here. I'll show it off. I got some, I don't know, I guess neat sounds. You can already see that there's some waveforms because there's actually been some stuff that's recorded off of the mini log here. So, anyways, let's hear what we got. I got it muted. Hang on, just a sec. Oops. Let's shorten the loop. We got a little of that TRBX going in there. And I mean, the TRBX bass line is super simple. I don't even remember what that was. It's probably just like an open E or something because it's always the easiest and the most grimiest kind of sound that you can get out of a bass. So it's just probably open E. But yeah, throw it through a little OTT and then you get some, nasty grit to it as well. I think, oh my gosh. I think in that one, what I had done was I had set it up. So, there's 2 tracks on it. If we look at that again, you have 2 audio tracks here. The bass line is here and here. So, actually what that is also some more just dicking around with the TRBX. When I bought it, it was kind of like a set combo. It is considered to be more of a beginner's bass guitar rather than something fancy or nice. That's totally fine. I'm also, just like I'm not very good at piano, I'm also not very good at bass guitar. Actually, I'm pretty bad at bass guitar. So, I wasn't really looking to buy anything like super expensive. Just, I do enjoy playing the bass guitar, even if I'm not good at it. And it was a set combo, beginner's bass, get a beginner's amp. So actually this recording that you heard is a direct feed from the bass guitar itself, as well as miking up the amp itself. So you get those 2 tracks there. One is the mic and one is the direct feed from the bass. So we can go back to that and just hear that. Oops. I don't remember which track is which. I think. So I think this top one, which is doing most of the heavy lifting, is actually the microphone, because the microphone, if I recall correctly, tends to sound much nicer than the direct feed. So I think that's what this is, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think this is the direct feed from the bass here, which has a little bit more of the bass, the oomph in it. So, anyways, that's that song. I don't know. This one's not too special. I'll probably wind up trashing this one. It's like I said, it's just something that I was just fucking around with the synth and my bass guitar. So, anyways, we'll move on to the other track that I have pulled up here. Maybe this one? Oh, okay. Alright. So this track, actually, I like this one. I might, I don't know, maybe if I'm feeling spicy, then maybe I will, finish the song. Maybe not. It's kind of somewhere in the middle on whether I'll actually finish it or not. Just like me, for real. Maybe I'll finish the song, maybe not. It's got a pretty nice hook, but it's only that. This one was mostly just me playing my Arturia Keylab. The synthesizer that is being used is actually not the Mini Logue. It's not the Mini Logue. It's what is it called? Generate. It's called Generate, which is actually a synthesizer I've used quite a lot in my music. I really like it because it has a pretty unique oscillator that creates some pretty wacky sounds, but you do have to learn how to tame that wacky oscillator to create those wacky sounds. But as a result, you can get some pretty cool shit out of it. So anyways, so yeah, this next one is mostly just the key lab itself, which it's just a MIDI controller. It's a very nice, expensive MIDI controller, but it is just a MIDI controller. It doesn't make noise. So that's all it is. So we can take a listen to that. Yeah! Uh-huh. Yeah! Kill it! Yeah, I don't know, it's fun. Yeah, just fucking around with stuff. It's got a cool little hook to it, but I don't know what else to do with it. Maybe I'll play around with it some more. But yeah, anyways, there's that. Do a synth solo. Man, I can't. Brother, I've been just using my mouse for most of my music career. I am a terrible player. I can just like flop around on the keyboard a little bit, and we can call it a synth solo. We'll do it in the key of C, because it's hard to fuck that up. You can just... Check that out. Skillful. Right? So, anyways. So, there's that. Wrath of Wood, nice to have you here. Why so many keys? Dang, dude. Why so many keys? Because I wanted a goddamn... Oh, right. It's set up to... Right. That's what I was just saying, is this song was set up to control it. Anyways. Tickle them ivories. All the octaves? Yeah, it's full 88 keys, actually. So, as I've already mentioned, it's an Arturia key lab. It's a really, really nice controller. And I love this thing because these keys are super fucking nice. They feel amazing to play. I love this key bed. And that's because, I don't even know, hang on. Hang on. Any chance I get to talk shit about my piece of garbage that I was using before? Oh, I'm down for it. Hang on. We gotta pull it out of the garbage pile over here. I have a whole box of noisemakers back there and other music equipment. So anyways, let's put the old headphones back in, the earphones, whatever you want to call them. Get the sound going again. Anytime I get to talk shit about this fucking garbage right here, this is the fucking Akai MPK, and I don't know why. I have no idea why so many musicians are like, oh my god, the Akai MPK is so great. I hate this fucking thing. This is the worst fucking garbage ever. This thing is like a third of the cost of my fucking mini Logue, and the fucking mini Logue has circuitry in there for making sounds, plus it has actual okay keyboard. It's not super great, but it's way fucking better than this heinous, hateful piece of shit. I have no idea why this thing is so highly recommended. I think it just goes to show you that every fucking musician, that includes me, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I hate this thing with a passion. It is garbage. Please, never buy a Kai. These are the spongiest, mushiest, most uncomfortable, hateful things. These little keys are so tiny, and they are so sharp at the end. There's so many times where I fat finger it, and when it lifts up, it like pinches my finger. It bites me. It actually bites me. I hate this thing, and it probably hates me. That's why it fucking bites me. So, anyways, I overcorrected. I got dead dad money now. Damn it, I'm gonna use my dead dad money, and I'm gonna buy the nicest fucking controller I can afford. which is actually would have probably been the Mark II. But I'm also frugal, and I bought a used Mark I because I don't give a shit about all the bells and whistles on the control surface on the top. Who gives a shit about that? I just want the key bed. Anyways. I've been looking at the monologues. They are like mini logs. Yeah, I know. No one has all the toys. No, I don't have that many. I've seen listings for resellers thinking that Akai was an NPC. Yeah. Anyways, I know Akai used to have some sort of a legacy, but like, I don't know. I mean, most of these brands, to be honest, Korg included, have all sold out to, China, and like the quality is nowhere near what they used to be. I will even be excuse me. I will be honest, even with the mini Logue. So for the record, the mini Logue itself, the original mini Logue, which is what this is, there's a second revision called the mini Logue XD. There's also a half revision called like the mini Logue Base. That's not what this is. This is not the second revision. This is the original mini Logue, which I think released back in 2016. So it's 9 years old now. And I do get some glitches. Fortunately, it doesn't affect the actual sound that comes out of the synth, but sometimes the LEDs in the step sequencer like kind of bug out. It's as simple as just restarting it, but like that's the thing is like this like old music equipment. Like you think of like whenever I say microphone, probably the first image that comes to mind is probably like a Shure SM58 or 57. It is the most iconic design for a microphone. Black semi-conical handle, silver ball on top. That is your Shure SM58, right? And like those things, man, those things, ever since they've been released, have just continued to be tanks that have existed for forever. Unfortunately, as with everything, enshittification is real, and music equipment does not last as long. Why am I ranting about this? I don't remember why I started ranting about this. Why did I bring this up? Who cares? Let's do some more music stuff. I have another song here. So this is an interesting one, and this is probably the one that I. After I show this off, I think I'm going to go into my first new album review that I want to talk about. So, but first, why don't we go ahead and listen to this? This one is using the mini Logue. So, I will need to change the preset, and I can show you one of the other presets that I made while I was kind of setting things up for this stream. I think it's a pretty cool preset. So I'll show that off. One thing I do want to talk about is this is using what's called linear drums. Linear drums is basically where only one drum sound is made at a time. There's never two drum sounds. So you can't have a snare and a hi-hat, or you can't have a snare and a kick. Like there can only be one drum sound. In a way, it's kind of like putting all the drums on the same choke channel. And if you don't know what choke is basically it stops the sound when another sound happens. This is kind of using that. I didn't set up choke channels though, so you still have the release of the note that may carry over. So it's not technically real linear drums, but who gives a shit? Anyways, I've always wanted to play around with linear drums, but I don't know. All of my music has always been around big and fat. And big and fat means layers after layers after layers after layers stacked on top of each other. And that is kind of the opposite of linear drums, where linear drums is one. It's one instead of many. So I was playing around with linear drums. So first things we need to do is set the camera down. So I have a preset here, right here, mod LFR8. Well, actually, it's mod LF8. Very inventive name, I know. What did I miss? All those cool synth brands have been bought and sold. Yep. I missed the oh hi Mark one. The black one with the red keys looks dope. The black one with the red keys is the Mini Logue bass. So anyways, but it apparently I watched plenty of reviews, and the Mini Logue bass is literally pretty much just a rebranding of the regular Mini Logue. So it's pointless. Something about gear wears out. I don't know. Sampler style. Thick. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so I have this sound. Sorry, that's way too low. It needs to be a little bit higher. Actually, no. That is actually how it goes. Can you hear that? Yeah. Okay. So this is, first of all, I like this. This sound is more intended to be played with chords. However, this was a fun discovery. When I was making this sound, I was playing chords. So like I said, it was intended to be played with chords. However, I really liked that actually it kind of sounds like, I don't know, like distortion feedback. It's really cool. It like, I don't know, it sounds, like I said, it sounds like distortion feedback. It has this kind of metallic element to it, and then you can kind of hear the oscillators oscillate. I always like that. It's really cool. So, as the name implies, it's modulate LFO rate. So, I'm going to manually change the LFO rate here. So it's pretty fun. I like this sound. So with that, in combination with the song, it's pretty cool. Okay, that is not correct. What the fuck happened there? It just exploded. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. Oh, you didn't even get to see... Oh, that's okay. You could look here. Does the LFO rate have BPM sync? Yes, it does, but I don't actually want to use the BPM sync because as you could hear, you get some pretty cool bouncingness. So this is using like a combination of the the filter modulation. So it has kind of a really... It has... Sorry, not kind of. It has a really slow attack on the filter. But also the LFO is modulating the filter. So what's happening is that as I turn this up, you're kind of getting this bouncing effect. Kind of like when you drop a ball and you get the dum, 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 right? So you get this kind of bouncing effect to it. I think it's pretty cool. So like, this is a nice thing. Like you can technically do that with software synth. And it depends on the software synth too, because obviously with the software synth, you might even have parameters that allow you to, like with Massive, for sure. I use Massive a lot, and you can basically modulate literally any parameter. In fact, you could use an LFO to modulate an LFO, which basically means I could do exactly what I was doing manually there by hand by just tweaking this knob. Instead, I could just have another LFO modulate this LFO and have that other LFO be tempo synced while the main LFO is not tempo synced. And it would basically create the same effect because the tempo synced one is going to reset the LFO on the beat, while the LFO that's controlling the filter is going to be just progressively getting faster, right? Doing that sound. So yeah, you could technically do it with a software synthesizer. But I don't know, it's so much more fun just being able to tweak the knobs in real time. You get that variation in it. The thing is, with when you're using a software synthesizer, as I was talking about using an LFO feeding into the LFO that feeds into the filter. And what you happen is you get this very consistent play style of it, which, don't get me wrong, that can be good too, depending on what you're going for. But as I've talked about before with my own music, I spend a lot of time trying to add the human element back into it. That's kind of the irony. Is like in the computer, everything is, you know, super static and super robotic. So now I spend a lot of effort adding human elements back into it. While, of course, when I play it live, I'm so terrible at playing that I have to use a computer to make it sound better. But anyways, so like that's the nice thing, is that I naturally the human element of, like, you know, I may twist the knob just slightly a little bit further than before, so the bounce is a little bit slower at the start. Or maybe I don't twist it enough, so the bounce starts a little bit faster than the previous one. It adds very minor, but I think significant variation and nuance to the song. So I think that's really cool. So anyways, we'll give that another run through. Yeah, anyways, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. Anyways, so I guess that was going to bring me to one of the other things I wanted to talk about, right? Because this stream is kind of aimless. We're going to make some noises, listen to some music that I'm maybe working on, play around with the synth, as we've just done. But one of the things is I just wanted to talk about some of the music that I recently purchased as well. Let's see, what did Rath say? It's like recording guitar. You want the little string noises and scrapes. Yeah. I record audio from my synths, then chop it and mix the clips in Reaper. Yeah, actually, so it's funny. There's another song. I'm not allowed to show you guys this yet, though. But it to tease you. This is probably one of my most favorite songs I've ever written, and it was using everything. All of my new equipment, you know, it started, the main melody was played on my key lab. The chords were played on my key lab. Most of the synth sounds, not all of them, but most of the synth sounds come out of the Mini Logue, and even the bass line comes out of the TRBX. And actually, the TRBX bass line in that, actually, I recorded just the individual notes because it kind of has like this slapped bass line, and let me tell you, I am not good at doing slap, especially like consistently, like playing a whole rhythm with doing slap. I'll wind up slapping the wrong string or whatever the case is. So rather than, you know, fuck around with that, is I would just fret the note, slap the note, wait for it to ring out. Okay, stop the recording, start a new recording, next note, slap it, and so on and so forth. Well, actually, I didn't stop. Sorry, stopping the recording is not correct. I would just wait for it to ring out, fret to the next note, slap it, and then I'll chop out all the silence and kind of move it into rhythm. So in that case, it is pretty robotic. But man, let me tell you, it's the coolest fucking song I have written, and it's too bad I can't show you. It's so fucking cool, man. But I promise, when it's actually ready to be shown, I'm going to show it off. I'm going to make a big deal about it. And when you hear it, you're going to be like, damn, what the fuck is this? That doesn't even sound like Nolan's music. And I'm going to be like, I know! I will give you a hint. I've ragged on like all the 80s stuff that is like stuck around. And, you know, normally the weird 80s synthwave nostalgia stuff, I don't know why it's been popular, and like I said, I'll rag on it, but when I was working on the song, I had the chords and the notes, like I said, I played on my key lab, but I didn't I just had the notes and I played it through the piano, and piano's fine and all that, but I was looking for a good sound to fit it. And I was going through the mini logue sounds, and I had found this sound that like fit the chords and the notes and just everything so perfectly. It's one of the presets. It's not a sound I made, sorry. But anyways, and it kind of had like an 80s synthwave vibe to it, and I just wound up just going with the flow. Hey, the main chords, the main melody kind of has this 80s synthwave vibe. Why try to make this anything else but 80s synthwave? So it's definitely a new genre for me. I've never written any music like that, but man, when I finished this song, I was just like, damn, boy. It's so cool. Anyways, but 80s hair ballad? No. Fuck all those fucking I hate ballads. The rock ballads, man. I don't know if I'd ever write anything like that. Matching bass and white keyboards. It's not intentional. It's not intentional. First of all, I don't know how well it comes through. These keys are quite yellowed, but I guess Arturia's, I don't know how well you can see it. Let's turn it way down. There you go. You can see my pajama pants. But yeah, like the main like body is white with a wood accent. This does seem to be just a veneer. It's not actual real wood, unfortunately. But anyways, so yeah, I guess that's white. And then of course my speakers, can we turn them up? Can we turn? Can we? Ah, there we go. Yeah, this is some wacky camera work, but anyways, you can see I have the Yamaha HS8s. I talked about these before, but Yamaha seems to be their thing is white. So yeah, and then the TRBX is a Yamaha bass. We can get a nice little look. You can see the Yamaha logo there. So it's the TRBX is a Yamaha bass. So. And like I said, white seems to be their kind of thing. If it was my own personal choice, I probably wouldn't go with white. I'd love a little bit more color. But, oh well. That's white. Mini Logue is silver, but of course it's reflective. So what you guys are seeing is pretty white because it's reflecting the ceiling light. And then this is white. This is my laptop is silver, so it's reflecting that, so it's white. Everything's white. Not my choice. Also, the white floor. White floor. Look, it's Japan, and in Japan only knows two colors. You have red and white. That's it in Japan. No other colors exist. Tone wood panels. Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I wanted to give a short music review for some of the music I purchased. Oh, so first of all, I'm gonna explain a needless story. You guys don't need this backstory, but hey, we're here to have fun and just chat. So fuck it. You're gonna hear a needless backstory. I'm gonna explain why I had even purchased some music in the first place. And that's also because I kind of want to just pour one out. Not literally, because my floors would get sticky. Well, pour one out into my gut. So first of all, let me finish this off, top it up, and then I can pour one out. Get your alcohol ready, because this is a downer. Alright, kanpai. Cheers. So, downer. Recently, and actually some of my RM Web members probably know the story already. Recently, we had learned that Chaucer, his real name was Paul Padilla, but I think most of us know him as Chaucer. He's done a lot of great plugins for RPG Maker. He did character motion. He had his own 3D engine that was lighter and faster weight than RM3D, or what is it, MV3D and MZ3D. He had lots of great plugins, and unfortunately, he passed away. it didn't really affect me super deeply. I was friends with him, but I can't really say I was a close friend with him. He did contribute code to my project, like directly. I had hired him to make some stuff for my game. So and I also used his public plugins as well. So like I talked to him on like a personal basis. So it was weird to find out that he died. What was even more weird is like not that long ago I was chatting with him in Discord. I have like the private messages, and it's just so weird. Like not that long ago he was there, and now he's gone. So that's why we're pouring one out for the homie. Not close, but I remember them being around. Yeah. I played a couple of the games that he had contributed code to on stream, and he's even joined the stream a couple of times too. And he's gone now. And he's actually only a year older than me. He was born in 1991. I was born in 92. It's weird, man. It's just weird. Yeah. So anyways, like I said, that's needless backstory, but because of his passing, his profile picture that he used on Discord, I think the mods of his Discord wanted to set up like some sort of memorial thing, and so they're trying to find out the source of his profile picture. And the profile picture came from a band called Nimvind, Nim space M Nim space VIND, Nimvind. I'd never heard of them before. They seem to be relatively popular, at least during their time they were relatively popular, although I think they've kind of fallen out of trendy music. I actually kind of liked it a lot, and I was actually going to pick up the album specifically that had the cover that Chaucer was using as his profile picture. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. Not on CD. It was available for MP3 download on Amazon, but like it sucks that music never gets discounted. The one thing that's nice about games is typically when games get old, like they discount the price. Not a sale price. I mean, they just slash the price. Like that's now the new MSRP because this game is old, right? The thing is with music is that never happens. It's like this thing is still priced the same as it was, I don't know, so many years ago. It's so stupid. So anyways, I could only find it on Amazon. I was surprised to see that Nimvind has a Bandcamp, and this is leading up to what I'm trying to get to. Unfortunately, their Bandcamp is only there to promote their like commercial releases. You can't buy it in the music. They just post a single there for streaming and streaming only. And then in the description of the streamed song are links to like iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, whatever. So that sucks. So I didn't wind up buying it. However, since I was on Bandcamp and I've kind of been in the mood to find some new music, I have an old playlist of on YouTube playlists. I don't know if people remember those, of like different songs that I've just found over time that I've liked either through like YouTube's recommendations or someone telling me about them or whatever. And they just sat there waiting for me to buy their music. And so I did that. I kind of went through all those different indie artists on there and looked through different songs that I really liked and went to their Bandcamp page and purchased them since I was on Bandcamp anyways. One of the first artists I want to talk about, my first review of an album, is going to be from the Flashbulb. So, if you don't know... the Flashbulb, I don't want to play by the way, I don't want to play any of the songs like just in the background, because even though they're indie artists, and especially Flashbulb is probably the most okay with me just playing without having to worry about content ID, I'm still not even going to bother with it. Flashbulb, his name is Ben Jordan. He's actually has a YouTube channel, and he does lots of cool stuff talking about music. Well, he talks about whatever the fuck he wants. But he's mainly has a lot of experience in the music industry. And so he talks a lot about music industry stuff. new gear and whatever else. Sometimes he talks about not music stuff. He just talks about whatever the fuck he wants. And it's pretty cool. I love Ben Jordan's work. He's a super cool guy. I believe in a lot of what he does. His music, funnily enough, I'd actually found his music long before I knew he had a YouTube channel. Way before I knew he had a YouTube channel. I probably found his YouTube channel in like, I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe 2022, maybe 2021. I had found his music probably way back in 2014 when I was just starting out on music stuff, right? And and I liked his stuff. It's weird. The songs are kind of like short ideas that kind of come in, say their piece, get out, but then they transition really well into the next piece. So it's almost like the whole album is almost kind of like a concept album because everything transitions pretty well into the next song. It is a little bit disappointing that occasionally there's like, oh, that's really cool. I wish he would have expanded on that idea. And that was that album back in 2014. I've known of his music, obviously, since then. When I found his YouTube channel and I realized that Ben Jordan is the Flashbulb, I was like, oh shit, no way! It's that guy? Anyways, I hadn't checked in on his music in years. And so I finally did, because I was, browsing Bandcamp, as the story I just mentioned. And I had decided to purchase one of his albums. So I'm going to give a review, but first I want to play a short snippet. The thing I want to talk about is his main thing is linear drums. So this relates back to the song that I was playing with the LFO, right? So this relates back to that. Linear drums and all that stuff. That's kind of his thing. Except I'm gonna have to skip around a little bit because otherwise Content ID might match it. Listen to those piano chords, man. Man, it's so nice. And then the drums come in. Linear drums. Alright, so there you go. You got the idea. Need to switch cameras. So you got the idea now. The album's okay. I was pretty disappointed actually because this is an album he released in 2022. I think recent-ishly, like in 2024, he released like a full-length album. But between 2022, he's pretty prolific, by the way. Between 2022 and 2024, there's a couple of releases that had happened, but they just seem to be, I don't know, kind of like one-off ideas. Not a full album. This seemed to be like his last, I don't know, full album. And I was kind of surprised that this is 2022, and I first found him with Opus at the End of Everything, I think is the name of the album, and it's not that different. And his linear drum thing, I like linear drums, they're cool, but it almost becomes a parody of itself. Like, I feel like I've heard him play these kind of rhythms a lot. So I doubt Ben Jordan sees this, but Ben, come on. I think there's a lot to explore with linear drums, but I feel like you're just treading the same water. Come on, give us something new. I came back, 8 years later, and I feel like I'm listening to the same fucking album. You're better than this. Let's see. Purchase music to listen to, I hope. Not close, but I remember them being around. One of many music tubers I watch. Yeah. Ben Jordan's great. Yeah, that's breakbeat, one drum track style. Yeah. Kind of like how chiptune have one sample track and one sample plays at a time. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so actually I did purchase these. I will be honest, there's been a long time that I've been Sailing the high seas, yar, the vast. When it comes to music, I kind of grew up in the age of LimeWire and shit like that. So I don't know, I built up a bad habit. But anyways, I did purchase all these. The thing is with like Bandcamp artists is that they're usually too small to pirate anyways. And I'd like to support them because they're the indie artists. They're the ones that need the money the most. Metallica doesn't need another fucking $10. They're totally fine. But these are the artists that do need that money. However, I will say, Flashbulb's album, what is this one called? The Curlian Tapes V 1.0. I don't know, B tier. It's fine. There's some cool songs in it. The thing is his writing is pretty similar to mine, where I think he just writes music for the joy of writing music, much like myself. So he doesn't tend to stick to one genre. Again, much like myself. Which, like, even I'm aware that this is kind of a flaw with my own music. It makes it hard to enjoy an album. Like, when I go into an album, I kind of want an album, a collection of songs in one style. So it's always kind of weird when you go into an album and it has quite diverse different styles and genres. You can always tell it's his playing, it's his music. There's a certain type of mixing and composition that are distinctly Ben Jordan. But at the same time, the genres tend to shift and the ideas are quite wide. And so as far as an album goes, it's kind of hard to sit and just enjoy it because the idea comes, it goes, and it's a completely different idea in the next track. So anyways, B tier. Record it to cassette, be a real OG. Yeah. Alright. Back to the music stuff. So we're back to this song here. So let me how long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for an hour. That's not too bad. All right, it's not as long as I thought. So let me explain. So there's a few different things that I need to work on musically. I've already shown you the 3 tracks that are just like concepts that I'd laid down and nothing more. One of them I probably won't do anything else with. It was just to have fun on the bass, have fun on the synth, and that was it. That will probably be scrapped and never finished. The other 2 songs, kind of cool. Maybe I'll finish them. So maybe we'll work on those just for fun. There's also this song that I have pulled up now on the screen. And this one's related to the game. So let me give a little bit backstory to the game. So one thing that I want to do is, excuse me, for the longest time, I've basically had 3 combat tracks for my game. There's your regular battles. These are just for your regular trash mob encounters. There's that song. Then there's a second song, which is like special encounters. Oh, sorry, it's actually 4 songs. It's 4 songs. There's another song that's for special encounters. They are like trash mobs, but they are encounters that happen because of like story or scripted events or whatever. And then there's the mini boss battle song, and then there's just a boss battle song. So there's just 4 battle songs in total in the game. However, because my game's been going under major revisions, I wanted to... I don't know if this will happen. I have a pretty cool concept for all of the bosses. There's only 3 bosses, like main bosses, plus the final boss. Sorry. I guess there's 4 bosses. There's 4 bosses in the entire game. That's not that many. And so I have a pretty cool concept that will greatly increase the scope of the boss battles, but I think make them stand out way more. Part of that is making unique music for the bosses. I think that's an important part. If I want to make the scope of these bosses bigger, they also need to have their own unique battle track. So I can't just keep using the same boss music for all of them. And for the record, by the way, I should mention that the final boss has their own unique battle music. That's always been the same. That hasn't changed. Um, the Ben Jordan DJ tag. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe make a new track. Yeah. So that's this here. Um, basically, coincidentally, for one of the levels, so basically, here's how I wanted to do the music, right? So each level has their own distinct music, although, funnily enough, the music is derived from the same chords and even sometimes the same melody. Like, the same melody creeps in there, but might be kind of chopped up and resampled in a way. So every level is built on the same building blocks, we'll say. For as a bonus song, my game has these bonus songs that are kind of hidden. You do like special things that normal players probably wouldn't think of, but if you're explorative, you're like, hey, I want to see what happens if I do this, or whatever. If you're just curious, you unlock like hidden music tracks. And one of the hidden music tracks was actually this really cool remix of the Seas level that I built for my game. The Seas is actually the first level that I had built for my game at all. I made a really cool remix for it, so I'm going to play that real fast. And I can actually play it and it won't get copyrighted. That's good to know. Oh no! I forgot that was... Whoops. Hey, but while this plays, I'm gonna grab my beer, so I'll be right back. So you get the idea. So, but you also might not be familiar with the original song. I don't know how many of you actually played the beta test of the game. And even if you did play the beta test, you probably didn't play all the levels available to you. I think most people that had played the beta test way back during summer mostly had gone to the volcano, to the mountain level. And this is not that song. So a lot of people didn't experience the original level song. So now that you've heard that song, let me play the original version so you kind of get a sense of how it's been remixed, right? I love this pad, by the way. It's super cool. I don't even remember what synth made this pad. I didn't mean to stop it. Oh my god. All right, you got it. You got it. Okay, so I've kind of set the stage here now, so you kind of have an idea. So basically, I have the original version, which is what I just played for you just now, and then as a bonus, it's kind of hidden in the level, and I'll probably change this if I actually go forward with this plan with the bosses. But right now, currently, that as Wrath put it, Dead Mouse remix. If that Dead Mouse that Dead Mouse remix is just kind of a hidden track, if you do some very secretive exploration, you will find it and you will unlock it. This is actually something I like about my game. No one discovered this, which I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign. I'm kind of glad because it's supposed to be very hidden. It's supposed to be super secretive and Easter egg-like, right? On the other hand, I kind of wish someone would have tried. There are 6 hidden bonus tracks in my game, which all involve doing something kind of, I don't know, out there. You kind of have to like try something. You have to kind of think, oh, I wonder if I just dick around with this, what happens? And then I reward you with, there's even a message that pops up, hidden BGM unlocked, and then it starts playing. It will for the case of the levels, it will completely override the level music and will just play that level music until you leave the level and come back in, and it'll play the original track again. It's fun. I like this kind of secret shit. No one found any of them yet so far. Anyways, but this Dead Mouse remix that I have going, probably will be shifted into the boss. Will actually just be the boss music. And I want to kind of do something similar to that. So I already have the MIDI track, right? I already have the MIDI track for all the music. That's how I wrote the boss music, is that I just took the MIDI track, shifted, threw it into a new project, changed the tempo, it's faster, and then, changed around some of the sounds, threw on Massive. I think I used a lot of Massive in that. And bada bing, bada boom, you got the Dead Mouse remix, as Wrath put it. So, anyways. So, I basically want to do kind of the same idea. So there's 2 more songs that I need to do. I have the cave level itself, which I think a lot of people have already heard. I'm not sure how to remix that one. And then I have the forest level. I'm currently working on the forest level. The forest level was not in the beta test because it's taking a lot more work than I expected. The forest level is super fucking interesting because it takes the concept of like a 4X game, like Civilization, Heroes of Might and Magic, whatever. It takes the concept of a 4X game and plants it into a JRPG. It's super fucking cool. I fucking love the forest level. Whenever I'm like playtesting it, I just have so much fun just playing around in the forest level because it's so cool. And so I'm currently working on that, but it takes a lot of work because I have to like develop AI logic, right? Your opponent, it's a 4X game, so you have an opponent on the map, and the map is taking, and sorry, not the map, the opponent is taking their own actions, exploiting, exterminate. What are the 4X's? It's exploit, exterminate. Is it extract? I don't fucking remember. I don't remember what the 4X's are in 4X. But anyways, I have to program a fucking AI through shitty fucking RPG Maker eventing to do the 4X's of a 4X game. So it's taking a long time to set up. Anyways, I'm working on that now, and since it's on my mind, I figured, hey, what better time than now to try to come up with the boss music. I have a cool idea for the boss music. It's funny because I talked about the concept for the boss for probably long before you guys joined the stream. So I'm so happy that concept has basically stuck around. Like many years ago, I talked about this. So it's kind of like combines, like, you know, in your typical like 3D platformer collectathon game, you have the bosses that, you know, you kind of avoid the danger period until they have like an open opportunity for you to damage them, do it 3 times, and then you win the fight. So it's kind of taking that concept and once again planting it into a JRPG where there's like a sort of an active section and then you have your regular JRPG battle. I think it's a pretty cool concept. So I want to make sure I have music that fits that scenario. What do I miss here? Working with audio chops is fun for remixes. It's how you get the glitchy nonsense. I remixed a Riggy tune. I dance clubified it. Nice. I don't know who Riggy is, but nice. So anyways, so I got the MIDI here loaded up. The MIDI is here. We can mute these tracks because those are the songs. So this is all the MIDI for the level music for it. One thing I forgot to mention though. So it goes in cycles. Cycles are basically your turn because, you know, the thing is with like Civilization, it's actually more. Actually, I keep saying Civilization, but it's more appropriate to say it's more based on Heroes of Might and Magic is the concept. And Heroes of Might and Magic, you take turns. In your turn, you have a certain number of movement points per hero, and each hero can move so many spaces, collect resources, whatever, and then you can end your turn. And then the enemy takes their turn, and the next enemy takes their turn, and the next enemy takes their turn, and then it's your turn again. And so the whole level is kind of based on that concept. However, because whenever the enemy takes their turn, I actually fade out the music, the BGM, let the enemy process their turn. I'll probably talk more about how this whole AI works in another stream whenever that's done, because I think the AI is pretty cool, and it's nothing but smoke and mirrors. It works on a very fucking dumb and simple principle that I think once I reveal how it works, everyone will be like, "Oh, that's stupid. That makes too much sense." But anyways, it's all smoke and mirrors. But anyways, every time the enemy takes their turn, the music fades out. The enemy processes their turn, and then it goes back to the player's turn, and the music starts again. I found when I was playtesting, I found this out quite a long time ago, actually. When I was playtesting, I got very tired of hearing the beginning of the song over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm shooting kind of for probably 9 turns in order to complete the game, in order to complete the level. It could be more than that, though. But probably around 9, 12, maybe even 15 turns to complete the level. Which means you'd be hearing the beginning of that song quite a lot of times. So I wound up making 3 different variations of the song. So every time you complete a turn, it goes to a different variation of the song that has different instrumentation. It's a different arrangement of the same song. Now, but also actually interestingly, each arrangement adds like one new section to the song. So this version here is the 3rd version, which is the most complete version of the song. So I figured we'd probably start with this. 3D platformer bosses are like guys who get giant swords stuck in the ground and you smack them in the butt. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. And actually the concept is probably not far off from that either. So anyways, right now there's nothing here. Like this is just the MIDI track. Okay, so we have the Arturia Key Lab routed. Yeah. We have the Arturia Key Lab routed into here, but the Arturia Key Lab is also receiving MIDI from the MIDI track on there. So basically it's sending the MIDI track to the Arturia Key Lab, which is then sending it to the MIDI log, which is creating that sound. Let's fix that. So we have these chords, which you can't hear. So why don't we get something going for those chords actually? So I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I'm gonna set the loop back on. So I don't want this. This is not a good sound. Why does the pitch shift like that? That's weird. Yeah, there's weird pitch shifting. What's up with that? Is that in the MIDI track? The answer is yes. Yes, it was in the MIDI track. So first of all, let's establish tempo. So actually, here's the thing. I wanted to try something different with this, and I don't know if it's going to work out too well. But I feel like with this song, I want to try putting it in a slower tempo. Let me play the other versions. Sounds like a haunted house. You got Portamento on. No, it wasn't Portamento. I had a pitch on there. I'm not sure why. I don't know why that was, but anyways, there was a pitch shifting oscillation on it. Sometimes I create kind of like a faux vibrato effect. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know. Anyways, let me play the original version so you kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. So hang on just a second. So this is the OG version. Listen to the drums. Right, you got that? Okay, so here's round 2. This is day 2. Same chords, same kind of structure. So the main thing that's like driving the theme of this level is the drums. All the drums are doing some really fucking wacky shit. So once again, I want you to pay attention to the drums in this version. Yeah, you got that? Okay, so let's move on to the final version, where the drums just fucking go nutso, man. Right? Yeah, you got that motif, right? You got it, you got it. Yeah, almost like a polyrhythm. I don't think in this one I really used polyrhythms, so if there's any sort of polyrhythming going on, it's not intentional. I have played around with polyrhythms though in the past. I maybe this one even gets kind of polyrhythmy. It gets fucking whack as shit. Yeah, man, those fucking drums just fucking fly, man. They're fucking crazy. Yeah, fiddle type beat. No, yeah. There's some pretty wacky drums in fiddle music. So anyway, so this was all to say, so like the one thing I want to do with the song is I actually think I want a slower tempo because you kind of have these pretty high octane drums that I think are gonna, even though like the tempo itself is slow, it's gonna kind of give kind of a fast feeling to it, right? It's gonna give an urgent feeling to the song. So basically, that was all just to say is now that we can work on the track, I want to kind of put it in a slower tempo, and actually. The version 1 and version 2, cycle 1, cycle 2, whatever you want to call them, of the levels music is actually the same tempo. But weirdly enough, I don't know why I decided to do this, but cycle 3's music, the last version we just listened to, is slightly slower than the other ones. But anyways, so we're going to slow it down probably even more. I don't know. Let's just shoot it at like 100 BPM maybe. We'll start there and then kind of play around with it. So... yeah, we're already at 113, so we'll drop it down to 100 BPM. And for now, we're just going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that. And I kind of like that already. Damn it! That's pretty good. We can start with this. This is pretty good. I kind of want it a little bit lower. It's I don't know. I like that filter open all the way. I want some nice saws in there. It sounds like saws for the most part. Yeah, it's all saws. It's all saws all the time. Let's put a little detuning on that. Oh yeah, open it up. Give me more unison. Let's really distort that. Oh, yeah, listen to that. But it's in tune. We don't want in tune. We want unison. Oh, no. We're on poly. So since we're on poly, we want unison. Hang on. What if we go to unison? It's just picking the top, damn it. So I'd really want the root of the note to be the chord in this case. Let's leave it back at poly. I want a little more bass out of that. I don't know, I feel like there needs to be some dirt to it. I want some dirt. We need square waves. Ooh. That sounds pretty dark. That's pretty good. What's the polyphony? Yeah, the polyphony is 4, only 4. And actually I think the chords are more than 4, so I should probably double check that real fast. Thanks for the reminder. Nope. Nope, it's 3. It's 3, so we're safe. Polyphony is 4. We're using 3 notes, so we're safe on this one. So I think that's a pretty good starting place for this. Ooh, that opening up the... That's pretty good right there. Let's add a little portmanteau to that. That's pretty good. I do wish I had a little more bass in this. I kind of want something deeper and darker. I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it. What happens if we just shove the pitch all the way down? Ooh. yeah, baby. Give me that dirt. Alright, we got that set up. Alright. We got that set up. Let's go to the drums now. I think that's okay for now. I will probably adjust it later, but that's okay for right now. Just to be sure, I want to edit its name. What do we call this? We're gonna call this the. We need a W. Where's the W? The W. R. A. T. H. Space. S. Y. N. T. H. There it is. Okay. And we'll write that to number 116. There we go. Save that shit. Yeah, WAF patch. There we go. It's saved as the RAF patch. There we go. Alright. So now we're going to add some drums to this. So for now, like I will probably use some software effects to make some adjustments to add a little bit more dirt and grit to that. But for right now, that's okay to at least give us a baseline. Now I want to play around with some drums. So let's get a drum track going. We're gonna leave that playing in a loop, and then we're gonna add some. We'll play around with drums while we play with it. I definitely feel like this needs some aggressive side chaining. So first thing I want to do is set up a ghost kick track. So let's set that up. Can't hear this one. That's pretty good. Alright, that's gonna be our ghost. Need to make sure. There we go. And we need a good 4 on the floor beat. We have refractions in here? Oh, shit. We have refractions on this track. Oh, no. I didn't even hear refractions in there. What? Oh, it's probably because it's so bass heavy, the compressor. Fuck. How does it sound without refractions? I forgot I had all this shit set on it. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. It's basically the same sound. Alright, alright. It's actually a little bit cleaner, to be honest. I just realized something. I'm not that drunk. I am that drunk. I've had like what is it like four ochoko of whiskey. This is an ochoko, by the way. This is ochoko. I've had four ochoko of whiskey and basically at least one can of beer because this is like two cans in one, right? So I'm a little bit drunk. Anyways, I just noticed that actually there's time signature change in there. I'm not that drunk. Come on, man. We gotta remove the time signature change there. Time signature is the wrong word. Tempo change. Right here, we have the 100 there. We need to remove this 113 and 112. I don't know why the fuck those are there. Get out of here. There we go. That's right. That's right. Oh my god. I gotta pee so bad. Ghost tempos. Yeah, ghost tempos. Hang on, let me put on some tunes. I'll play the forest tracks for you guys again while I go pee. Hang on, I'll be right back. Forest tracks, forest tracks. Yeah, just play that one. Keep going. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed when I was previewing, I think I have the monitors. Or I have my headphones set to monitor, which is monitoring all the inputs, which is including my my mini log. So I can't actually hear what you're hearing. I'm hearing the just direct output of the mini log, but not the output of Reaper. You guys are hearing only the output of Reaper, which means all the effects processing too. So hang on just a second. Let me fix that. Okay, that should set it correctly. I should be hearing the same thing that you guys hear, hopefully now. The thing is that... Oh, you guys are on the wrong camera, I think. There we go. Okay, so anyways, so the thing is, it's like, it's always weird to me to have the in my head kind of sound going. So I usually set my headphones to monitor my voice so that way I can hear more clearly what you guys are hearing or what's going into the audio, whatever, the DAC. But unfortunately, that's also monitoring the input of my synthesizer. But that the input is not being processed by the workstation, so you guys hear something different than what I hear. I hear the raw input. You guys hear the processed input. Anyways. But anyways, I just turned off monitoring, so now I get the in my head kind of sound of my voice, but I can hear what you guys are hearing. Which is which is probably more accurate to what you guys are hearing. And you hear nothing but the kick. So now I kind of feel like this has a little bit too much dirt. It's a little bit too bassy. I want a little bit more texture to it. That sounds nicer to me. Feels a little bit too slow though. I think, what do I want here? I think I want more pumping. And I think I want it to be a little bit faster as well. Depends if you're gonna layer in more stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but this feels right for the timbre of the sound. This feels better. So I just updated the preset there. Let's get a little bit more pumping action in this. And a little bit more tempo. Yeah! Now we're doing it. Now we're cranking it, man. We need to adjust the fade time. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, get that pump going. Let's get a little bit more definition in there. I want a little reverb. Just get like a room reverb in there. Put it before the fader. After, yeah. Do like a Studio A. A cello? That's pretty good, that's pretty good. I want a little bit, it's a little bit too pumpy now. Not too much faster. Not too, yeah. Let's get a little bit more pumping in there. Or a little less, actually, sorry. Maybe like 50. There we go. I don't know, maybe. That sounds a little bit better. I want to brighten it up a little bit. It's a little bit dark, so I'm gonna brighten it up with my favorite, OTT. Let's get a little OTT action in there. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good. We're getting there. We're getting there with the sound. What do I want out of this? Maybe some saturation? I think we need some saturation on it. How about another old school effect? We need a little Camel Crusher. Let's try Camel Crusher and see what that gives us. Oh yeah, bring on the dirt! It's dirty! I love it! Got a little EQ some of this stuff off. Got a little bit too much bass in there. Let's roll that off. I'm a little bit kind of crazy about this. First of all, I roll off the super low end that's totally unnecessary, and then I roll off what I also don't need. Do you need to do this? I don't know, but I do it anyways. So roll off the super low end because we don't need that 100%. And then for this sound, it's kind of going to be kind of the rhythm section, I guess you'd say. So we still want some lows, but we don't want all the lows. So I don't know, let's say like around 100 or so. And then while we're here, we're going to clean up some of the mids as well. Oops, not that. Ah, right there, right there. Yeah! What kind of snare do we got on this? This has not been ghosted at all. There we go. Now it's ghosted. Let's see. What did I miss here? I found a quick way to double the... Okay, I read that. Reverbs with EQ built in are lit. Hell yeah. I use... Shut up for a second. I've been using 1-1... Look at me. Look here. Look at me. I've been using 1112 dB's Redline reverb for like as long as I've been making music now. It's sort of crazy how long I've been using Redline reverb. I'm on the hunt for replacement reverb. Here and there, I will use Tal's Reverb 3, and Supermassive. I'll use Supermassive as well. Both of those are very, I don't know, they're very, how to put it, they have a certain aesthetic to them, you know, that is more about like changing the sound profile, but not really great for just having a subtle glue for creating a space, you know. So I've been on the lookout for maybe a more versatile kind of reverb that is good at creating glue to, have a space, but also be good at creating those kind of textures and aesthetics to the sound as well. Speaking of Arturia, really been eyeballing Arturia's software effects collection. I have spent way too much fucking money on music gear that I really shouldn't buy it. But God, every time I'm like, man, I wish I had this. I go look at Arturia's effects and it's like, damn it, it's right there. I just have to spend $600 fucking dollars, and I would have all the effects that I need. I like their reverb effects and all that stuff too, but unfortunately it's paid for. And I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't sail the high seas, yar, Gavasti, because I have money now to pay for all this shit, so I should pay for it if I'm gonna get it. So anyways, I don't know, but for right now I've been using Redline Reverb. I've been using that for almost my entire music career, Redline Reverb. I do really love it, but it is an older reverb algorithm, and I think it's starting to kind of show its age. A lot of modern reverb algorithms are really nice. They have really beautiful long tails that'll have a lot of subtle nuance to them. When we're talking about some of the gooder, my goodness, or some of the better reverb plugins out there. So, anyways, EQ out the lower sub bass and the super highs. Yeah, of course. Those can't be heard. I usually wind up putting a roll off at around 1900 hertz for my highs, and actually usually around 35 hertz for the bass. I'll put the 35 hertz and the 1900 hertz roll off on the master bus whenever I'm kind of mastering the song, but just the actual track itself, I just kind of roll off the absolutely unnecessary frequencies, like the super sub bass that you can't even hear, like 20 hertz. And I roll off, I sometimes don't even roll off the, really high frequencies. I'll just leave the master EQ to take care of that. My ear mixes are very mids heavy and mono-ish. I mean, the mono thing is good, right? And I don't do this enough. I do it occasionally, but ideally, whenever you're mastering your mixes, you should be like doing some of the final mixing in mono. Like you should start with a mono mix it out in mono, and then open up the stereo field and then mix in stereo. Ideally, that's what you should be doing. It's especially important now because a lot of like Bluetooth speakers or cell phone speakers or whatever, a lot of the garbage that people are listening to music on. I really hate the in my head voice, so I have to take a headphone out so I can hear my voice normally. Sorry. Anyways, a lot of the modern speakers that people are listening to music on now are basically mono. You have the stereo speakers that are so close to each other, are so crap quality, that it might as well be mono. So, mono mixing is still very important. It's still important to hear your mix in mono to make sure there's no phase issues or anything like that. Unfortunately, I actually don't do it as much as I should. I will be totally honest about that. I really should be testing my mixes in mono more, but I don't. At best, I'll take a quick peek in mono before saying, yeah, it's good enough, and then just moving on to the stereo mix. The song that I was talking about, that I was bragging about before, that I unfortunately can't show you yet, I did actually do a lot of stereo and mono previewing, so I think it actually sounds good in both stereo and mono. But anyways, yeah, check your mixes in mono first before you start mixing in stereo. Unless you aren't buying guitar pedals, those are kind of a waste of money, sadly. Better off using effects in post. Panning changes the volume. Yeah, the panning effect, well, that's basically, in short, in summary, you are correct that it is, as far as our brains interpret it, as far as the sound world is concerned, it basically seems like the volume is increasing. Technically speaking, the volume is the same. It's just that it's how frequencies react. You're normally across the stereo field, you have the frequencies that are spread across two places. So basically, you're dividing the volume by two because half of the volume is going over here and half the volume is going over here. Sound works additively. So if you have a 1,000 hertz frequency and a 1,000 hertz frequency, as long as they're out of phase with each other, they should add together. So basically, if you have 20 decibels of 1,000 hertz over here and 20 decibels of 1,000 hertz over here, then you add them together, you get 40 decibels of 1,000 hertz, right? So frequencies work additively. So basically what's happening is when you shift it over into mono is you're compressing all of those frequencies down into a single place, and so they're all adding together, which is giving you the interpretation that it's actually increasing the volume. Though technically it's not, it's the same, it's just that before it was spread across. But anyways, you are technically correct. Stereo is like the bonus feature version. Yeah, actually, sorry, to go back to what you're saying about the pedals. Actually, to be honest, there's a few pedals I think are really cool. Analog effects, I think, are super cool. We are getting to a point now where I think software effects are getting better, but there is still something very cool about having hardware. Like, let's not kid ourselves. What the Mini Logue can do, it's not too far off from what a lot of software synthesizers can do. In fact, I'm pretty sure I could probably create a lot of these sounds from the Mini Logue in probably Synth 1. And Synth 1 is a free synth that released back in, like, what was it, 2009 or something? It's not too crazy. Part of the appeal is, first of all, the physical controls, of course. That's a big important part. It's just a different way of interacting and interfacing with the synth. But also, I don't know, there is, and it could be entirely placebo. I'm not going to deny that fact. It could be 100% placebo, but there is sort of a sense of subtle, nuanced tonality to analog synths, and that probably has to do, if it even exists at all, that subtle nuance probably has to come not from the circuitry itself, but probably the numerous places the sound, the output has to go through, right? Like, it comes out of here, it goes into my audio converter, and then goes into Reaper, right? That's like 2 steps of conversion of the audio where sound processing has happened even in subtle ways. Not to mention, who knows what the quality of the cable or whatever could have altered the sound in subtle ways as well. So I'd probably say that most of the analog feel probably doesn't come from the circuitry itself, but mostly probably comes from the all the connections that go between the synth and whatever the final output is. The actual circuitry itself could probably be easily recreated in software, but the wiring and all of that is going to be unique to your particular setup. Delay and distortion are the only effects you need to feel to play. Yeah, and distortion. So distortion is kind of this is another reason why I really want to pick up Arturia's software suite for effects. Is they have some pretty nice distortions. I haven't really gotten into interesting distortion effects. I have Camel Crusher, as you've just seen. Camel Crusher probably released back in 2010. And then I have Ozone Exciter, which is various algorithms for exciting, which exciting just comes in various forms of distortion, really, saturation, whatever. So yeah, actually, I really do want to kind of get into more distortion stuff. And I have my amp too, but that's mostly for my bass guitar. If it feels good to play, you're gonna play better. Yeah. That's one of the things I've definitely enjoyed about having all of this new equipment, the bass guitar, the synthesizer, key lab. Of course, before I was using my Casio dumpster keyboard from the 1990s. And I use that to play some stuff too. But I don't know, it definitely feels so much nicer to play this. Having the physical controls on the mini Logue, it's definitely really exciting to have. I can tweak them and modulate them as it's being recorded. I did a little bit of that in the song. Once again, unfortunately, I can't show you because it's not finished yet, but it's super cool. And the recordings from the synth have me like modulating the, filter and the release and all sorts of stuff on the synth. It's a really cool song. And the bass guitar, I love playing. I love fretting the strings, even though I'm fucking terrible at it. I'm god awful at it. Same thing goes for the piano. Anyways. Alright. We got the Ghost set up. I actually don't know what to do about the drums. I feel like maybe this would be a good song for linear drums. Linear drums kind of have that urgency to them, because they kind of lend themselves to genres like breakbeat and whatever. But we kind of have a 4 on the floor ghosting here, so and I may adjust the ghost later, but for right now, that's what we have set up. So let's see. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of like a drum and bass kind of thing. But that's too slow. Let's put double time in. I'm not feeling that. About that. That's not it. I kind of want to. I don't know. Let's see, what did I miss here? Needs the boots and cats rhythm. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. I don't know. It's too slow for that. It's too slow. Do a clap instead. Right now, don't worry about the drum sounds. Right now, we just have a pretty standard 909 kit. Clap on 2 and I know the backbeat stuff, but the backbeat is too slow because we're at 110. Like, let me show you backbeat, right? So I'm just gonna move this real fast. So we have like a new set to play with, right? So if we do Boots and Cats, we'll do clap like you said. It's gonna be too slow, I think. Oops. Alright, actually Boots and Cats are not so bad. Boots and Cats are actually okay for this song. It kind of, I don't know, but here's, fine. Damn you, Slotty. I almost unplugged my headphones. Boots and Cats are too simple, man. Come on. I do Boots and Cats too often. I'm feeling it too. Don't admit it. No, that's fine. Come on, man. Damn it, you're right. Fuck. It's good. Shit. God damn it. Wait, what? Nope, that's not right. Shit, man. I want a little more reverb on that clap, though. Actually, I want more reverb on that clap, and I want it to be deeper. I think I need to split this drum track into multiple tracks. Because I don't want the reverb on the kick, because that's just gonna muddy everything up. So yeah, I need to separate it out into separate tracks. Alright. So we're gonna separate this into multiple tracks. This one will just be the kick. And then this one will just be the clap, just like that. And this one, we're gonna take some of the stuff that I've learned from making my 80s synthwave stuff. We're gonna do heavy reverb with a gate on it, which is pretty 80s stuff, but it's pretty cool. So let's do that. All right. So heavy reverb. Nope, that's not good enough. I want maybe towel. No, I don't like towels either. Damn it, this is what I'm saying. I need a better reverb. Let's try Supermassive. No. Nope. Where is it? I think Redline has got it. It's just not the right preset. That's the one. Let's get a little... where's my gate? There we go, that's what I'm talking about. We need a little more power in it. And now we add another reverb. Yeah, listen to that. Do 8th or 16th notes on a hi-hat and then delete odd notes for chaos. All right, all right. Put that on the kick track. Let's label these for that. I don't like that hi-hat. 909 sucks. Oh god, I hate how this synth works. Let's set it to G-Lab. It's currently set to that. Hang on just a sec. There we go. Also, that gets rid of the noise. There we go. This one. Okay. We want a better one. Not that one. I want something a little bit more real feeling. So I think I like the power open hat. How about that one? Maybe. That's a little bit too aggressive. Or triplet, maybe? Oh, I should try triplets, actually. Hang on, but let's that's a little bit too much. How about how's this one? No, that sounds fucking awful. Alt? What is alt? I think if we pitch shift that one up, that one might be okay. How's the pop one sound? That one's got some sparkle to it. I want that sparkle, but I want it to feel real too, right? Like the 909 has sparkle, but it also feels, 909. Those all sound the same. Well, let's just give it a try anyways. Fuck it. Let's just go with it. What does it sound like? This it's got like some ringiness to it. I don't know if I like that ringiness. We want to EQ this. Where is that? Where is that sound? I think it's probably around there. Let's cut that out. Yeah, just want the sparkle. Just want the sparkle and the metals. That's a little bit too sparkly. Let's how does that sound? I think it's too sparkly. Yeah! I want a darker tone. Let's darken that up a little bit. There it is! Yeah, boy! It's still actually a little bit bright for my taste. It's kind of... Add a little bit of a cutoff here. Maybe there. I don't know. I spend way too much time on my fucking hi-hats, man. You need to... Bro, you wanna take the deep dive into my music? Fucking listen to my hi-hats. I waste too much fucking time on my hi-hats. The hi-hats are the important part, okay? Fuck, I need to pee again. That's what happens when you drink too much alcohol. You know, it just goes straight through you. I don't know. I'll just leave you guys with some more music again. And we'll come back to this. Hang on. I'll just sit tight. I don't have my headphones. I think it's fine. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I had his epiphany. His epiphany. The thing is, I'm going about this the wrong way. Right? I'm looking for a real sounding hi-hat, and I actually think that's the wrong approach. We have our 909 kick and 909 clap. These are both synthesized drum sounds, right? And adding in the non-synthesized, the acoustic hi-hat, it's the wrong approach. However, I don't like the 909 open hi-hat. But I do like the 808 open hi-hat. Let's give that a try and see how that turns out. After I get caught up on chat for just a second. Let's see. That clap at the verb sounds like a gunshot. Hell yeah, brother! I want it to be a little bit dramatic. I had a couple of decent drum kits set up, but moved the samples around and fucked it all up. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. All right. Anyways, let's give the 808 open hat a try. I think that's the right approach here. So we want to go to electric hats and try the 808. Where's my 808 open? 808 open. How does that sound? Maybe. How about this one? That one's actually almost the same. let's send it. Set it to 0. We want to bring back in some of that brightness, just like that. How does that sound? A little bit too bright. We want to bring some of that out. Okay, let's try that. I had a jamming out epiphany now. All right, bear with me. I know why I like this, and I know why I like this as boss music, right? Because remember, that's what we're working for, right? We're looking for boss music. That's the goal here, right? So I think I know why. So when I was younger, right, I played a lot of Ratchet and Clank. Particularly, I'm pretty proud of this. I unintentionally speed ran Ratchet and Clank 1. Now, to be fair, I don't know how much it would count as a valid speed run, but on the New Game Plus version, I was able to complete the game in a little bit over an hour, which I think was pretty good. To be fair, it was, like I said, New Game Plus, so I had all the stuff unlocked, so it was pretty easy to kind of blaze through everything. But still, I played a lot of Ratchet and Clank, and if I recall correctly, let's look this up real fast. Ratchet and Clank 1 Jack Boss. OST. Let's see if this is what I'm thinking of. This doesn't seem to be it. I don't think this is the song I was thinking of. Damn it. Yeah, this isn't the song. Maybe it's Ratchet and Clank 3. Is it Ratchet? Shit, I know there's one where it kind of has a similar feel. Like, it's definitely different than... I guess I don't need to waste time. I'll check the Up Your Arsenal one, but I actually have a feeling that's not the right one. But anyways, it's definitely different than what we're going for now. But that snare in particular with the gated reverb, I think is very similar to one of the boss musics in one of the Ratchet and Clank original 3 games. And I think that's why it's feeling very boss music-y to me. Maybe. Who knows? We'll check this last one, but I don't think this is going to be it. If it's not it, that's fine. You guys get the point. Nostalgia, whatever. Who cares? But let's just check. Nefarious fighting? Sure. This one? Yeah, I don't think this is it. I don't think that's the one, boys. No, this is not it. Definitely it's not it. Pretty good, though. Man. Listen to those fucking drums. I wish they were a little bit more present in the mix. Because, man, those drums are fucking going hard. Anyways, like I said, doesn't matter. One of the games in the original 3, I think had a for the like final boss theme, and I think that's what I'm thinking of here, which is kind of why. I mean, this is not final boss, but still, it's giving me boss theme moods, you know. I also don't know how I feel about that 808. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that 808. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, boys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to just leave the drums alone for a second. I wanted to try to kind of bring... there's an arpeggio that goes throughout the song. And I kind of wanted to bring that forward. I want to go back to working with my synthesizer here. See if we can't find a nice sound. So, actually, first of all, just to get a general idea of this song... right now, we're just hearing the playback from the synthesizer, right? So let's record that real fast. Need big bells following the motif in a couple of parts. Big bells. I don't know if I've ever used bells. I guess cowbells. Anyways, let's record this synth part real fast. It's not going to be the final version. It's just, we're going to record this just to be kind of like a placeholder, so we have an idea of the sound. And then we can use the synth for other parts. So let's knock that out real fast. So I'm going to, I can actually use my Arturia Keylab here. We'll just rewind it there and press the record button. Oh, that's too far back. That's fine. And press record. Oh no! Wait. Stop. think it's okay if I... Yeah. Okay, it's fine. And we'll just start it there. Let's try that again. Record button. Like a church bell? Oh man. Okay. Did I stop it too early? Shit! Damn it! Fuck! Damn it, drunk Nolan! Just be patient. Try that again. I'm gonna let it go through the next loop. That's fine. That's more than enough. That's okay. Alright, there we go. Now we can cut this here and here. Oops. There we go. Glue this. And there we go. Now we have a nice loop. Just like that. Okay, so that means we don't need to monitor we don't need to monitor this input anymore because we have a recording of that. You want the cops called again? Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm pretty drunk, man. I've had the 2 beers and I've had the. There's 4 Ochoko and I'm on number 5 now. So pretty we're feeling good, boys. We're feeling good. Don't mix while drunk. I've done it before and you'll wake up the next morning and wonder what the fuck were you doing with the mix. But when it comes to writing music, the writing is totally fine drunk. It's just I'll probably wake up tomorrow morning and wonder what the fuck these levels are. Go for the high score. So, anyways, we got that part recorded. So the bells things. It's funny because I've used them before, but they are definitely something I use sparingly. I don't really have any good samples for them. So if they are used, I kind of like to push them into the background because otherwise, if they are in kind of the forefront of the mix, then it's very apparent the low quality samples I'm using. But I recorded this section so that way. We can focus on the arpeggio. So here's the thing. As I mentioned kind of at the top of this section, is that all of the level songs are using the same chords. So even though this is in a slower tempo, it sounds more or less the same as the C song. I'll play that real quick. So we have this, right? So here's what we've done so far. Right, so we're pretty familiar with it. So if I go back here and I just solo like this one, you'll probably realize that it sounds very similar. Like obviously the timbre, because it's using like wub wub synths, like dubstep synths, with a lot of wub wub on them, and it's using massive, so the timbre is completely different, but the actual notes that are making up the song are exactly the same, and that's because all of the levels are using the exact same chords. So, but they have their own like defining melody, I guess you'd say, their own defining melody. And so I really want to bring that defining melody to the forefront. And I've already kind of shown that off with the forest song. It has this sort of arpeggio where you have like a piano that's kind of like wandering up and then down, and then you have a guitar that's like wandering down and then up. So you kind of create this kind of diamond shape, right? So I want to bring that element to the forefront to make sure that this song feels distinct compared to the other level music. Otherwise, it's going to sound the same. Yeah, add some bing bongs. I don't have any bing bongs. I think the BBC Symphony has decent one. I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. Because I'm slow to read the chat. That one is more acid. Yeah, this one's, yeah. Anyways, so what I want to focus on next is that arpeggio. We can see it here. This is the first one that comes in. So that's the very beginning of it. So now that we have that soloed, let's just set the output there. My bad. Not that. Oh, that's duh. Why is there no output? There we go. Let's get a receive set up for Keylab 2. There. And this one, it doesn't need to set up for Keylab. And there we go. And then we set this to monitor input 2. Why can't I hear it? Is that because I don't have this headphone in my ear? It's oscillating. You can see that. You got the oscillator going. It's playing. It's playing something. Why can't we hear it? What have I done wrong here? I've set up something incorrect in this chain. And I don't know what. Oh, I know. There it is. Okay, alright. What are we looking for this sound? That's pretty good. We want... I like that. What about the sound I had earlier? Hang on. Oh no, what happened to the plucky sound I had earlier? Did I overwrite it? I think I overwrote it. Damn it. Fuck! That plucky sound I had... Damn it! Oh, that sucks so much. Okay, so one complaint I have about this instrument is whenever you're writing... I don't know how well you can see this. I need OBS open. Come on, OBS. Where are you? I don't know how well you can see this. So here it says write patch 116 to 116. But it doesn't tell you like the name of the patch or anything. Like you only have this really, really tiny screen here. And it's so hard to tell if you already have something at that slot, on that slot right there. And so I think I've accidentally overwritten at the very top of this stream. I had like a really plucky synth sound. And I think when I created the sound for This here, I accidentally overwrote the sound that I started the stream with, which sucks because I actually think that plucky sound would be really good for this. I guess we need to recreate it. So I started with triangles. I think they're both triangles. It's funny though, I think all these knobs are set to basically where I'd want it. So I just need to kind of nudge them a little bit. And it should hopefully get me back to where I was. Or close to it, at least. That does not feel like the sound that I had before, though, to be honest. Yeah, because the sound I had before... Shit, it had the, refractions and supermassive on it, as well as is using the delay. And I don't use the delay on this synth very much. Yeah, this is not sounding right. That's getting closer. Damn it, I'm so angry with myself. Hang on, we got the sequencer going here. There. That should be better. I think I had an LFO in there as well. Fuck, man. Can't believe I overwrote. I overwrote the preset. Oh, it's all ogre, man. It's all ogre. I can't believe this, man. I can't believe it. Fuck. Shut the fuck up. Shit. I don't know, man. Take these off. What time is it? 12:46. Yeah, I'm getting pretty drunk. I only really talked. I was gonna review some of the other music that I purchased, but I didn't because I got drunk and we started making music. I mean, there was no goal for this stream at all. It was just to have fun playing around with my new music toys. But I did want to try to talk about some of the other music that I purchased. I think this song is... There I go talking again while drinking. Excuse me. Anyways. Game over, man. Game over. Yeah. Fuck me, man. I can't believe I overwrote that preset. I started the I started the stream off with. That sucks. That's my biggest complaint about this synth is that it's so hard to tell if you're about to accidentally overwrite one of your presets. Anyways, shit. I guess it happened. Anyways, I guess I can quickly just kind of review some of the music that I have. If you guys are interested, it's all very, indie music kind of stuff. I found it through Bandcamp. So, that's where a lot of indie artists post their music. I post my music to Bandcamp as well. I post my public releases. Obviously all my soundtrack music is not available on Bandcamp at this time. I will release the soundtrack on Bandcamp whenever the game is finished, but that's whenever the game is fucking finished, which who knows when the fuck that'll be. But other than that, you basically have my album that I released back in 2021, maybe 2020, I don't remember. If you guys haven't listened to Believe, you really should. I still really like Believe. It was my first real serious attempt at an album, so Believe is probably not in this stream. Normally it's actually linked in the description, and that's because whenever I do my playing games on stream, live streams, I just copy a template, and the template, I do believe, has a link to my Believe album. This one, because it's a little bit different, doesn't have that link, so I don't know. Sorry, there's no... That's okay, no one likes fucking Believe. I think it's a good album. It is definitely, I'm not going to lie here, it is definitely difficult to appreciate. The first track, I think, leaves a poor impression. It's very long-winded and doesn't get to its point fast enough. So it winds up dissuading a lot of people from sticking around with the album. It is a concept album, so each track kind of interconnects. I will admit, though, that going from the first track into the second track doesn't really connect very well, and that's because when I wrote the first track, I didn't know it was going to be part of an album, so I kind of ham-fistedly connected the tracks together. Anyways, listen to Believe. Believe is great. It's not linked down below. I was about to say it's linked down below. Anyways, Bandcamp. That's what I'm talking about, not my music. But you should still check out my music anyways. The whole album is, you can stream it for free. There's the lyric video on my YouTube channel. I like that microwave song. Yeah, the microwave song is pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie about that. You're definitely right about that. Microwave song is great. Anyways, so all the other music I've purchased from Bandcamp. We'll go through that real quick. I want to start off with not that. That's my own music. Clan. So Clan was a band I actually became aware of probably before COVID. I think it was literally just before COVID. And I'd actually stolen their album. I couldn't find their album on like a piracy site. However, they had uploaded their entire album to YouTube, and I just downloaded the album from YouTube as an MP3 file, and I just listened. It wasn't broken up into separate tracks. It was just one long audio file for the whole album. But, that's the best way to listen to this album, too. It's not really a concept album, so not all the tracks, interconnect in that way, but still, I do think that's the best way to appreciate this album is listening to it track by track. So, I listened to it back then from a pirated version of the album, but I finally purchased it. I really like their music. I'm really glad I purchased it. I want to just give a short preview of their music. It's pretty unique. It's kind of like this gothic, glitchy kind of thing. It definitely has its own unique sound to it. I can only play a little bit because I'm worried that it'll probably get hit by Content ID. But it's pretty cool. So I'm going to play a preview of their... Well, the first track on the album is kind of more like an intro. So I want to play the second track. But the second track is kind of like the first full track. So... I'm gonna play just a section of that real quick. So you get this kind of warbly piano, kind of builds into something, and I'll fast forward a little bit, so you can kind of hear some of that, and it builds up more into something even greater. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I really like their stuff. It's kind of got this gothic-y, reverby kind of thing. It's super cool. I love a lot of their stuff. There's like some glitchiness to it, but also this like violin and I don't know, it's like sample-based vocals. I don't know. It's really cool. It has a very interesting texture to it that I really enjoy, and so I'm glad I finally actually purchased a legitimate copy of theirs. So anyways, I'd probably put Clan up in probably an A tier on my album list. Clan's album Sealy, that's specifically what I was playing there. So most of their music is all I think all the vocals are like sample based. However, the very final song, which I definitely recommend you guys look up on YouTube, by the way, I'll play a short sample here in just a moment. They actually hired a vocalist for, and it's long, but man, it's worth it. It's just such an emotional ride. It's just such a good ultimate track for the album. It's really good. I definitely recommend this album. Super cool.
To hold you, I've got you.
Fast forward a little bit more. It's so cool, man. I love this album. Really glad I finally purchased a legitimate copy of the album. I've been listening to that while I work on my game. And I've been doing a lot of work on my game. Like I said, been working on that forest level, which is pretty complex to event. So I think like this is probably my favorite album of all my purchases. So I purchased 6 albums in total. We already talked about Flashbulb, Ben Jordan, and now we talked about Clan. So next I want to talk about an Unkindness, which is at the very top of the list here. That you can't see because it's on this camera here. Anyways, an Unkindness is next. Briefly, I want to talk about An Unkindness real quick. So, An Unkindness comes from a YouTuber, actually, that maybe some of you are familiar with. His YouTube channel is called Your Movie Sucks. His name is Adam, and he, as the YouTube channel name implies, reviews movies. And he actually released an album. And when he had released the album, he had released a single. And the single was really good. It reminded me a lot of Brassstronauts. If you have not heard Brassstronauts, it doesn't surprise me. They were featured in a game called Wet. But even Wet seems to have been forgotten. It was like an Xbox 360 third-person shooter game that I don't know if anyone remembers. It was actually published by Bethesda. of all the people, the Elder Scrolls people. It was published by the Elder Scrolls people. Brassstronauts were featured in there, and it's kind of a jazzy. It's like I don't know, like kind of a jazzy brass band kind of thing. They're pretty cool. I really like Brastronaut's album that Wet had used as part of their own soundtrack. And so when Adam from Your Movie Sucks, also an Unkindness, released this track, and it sounded very similar to it, I had been interested. The track that he released was called Anything, and I love this song. It's super cool. I'm going to play a preview of it real quick for you guys. I love that upright bass. It's so cool. And it feels very Brastronauts. I'm going to fast forward a little bit though.
On my ways, would I still be me?
And a little bit more.
You said I could be anything.
It's really cool. I like this song. And unfortunately, I feel deceived by this song. And I'm here to protect you guys from the same deception. I purchased the album on Bandcamp, because all of these albums are purchased from Bandcamp. And I'm gonna be honest here. This is the only good song on that fucking album. No wonder why he released it as a single. He probably fucking knew this was the only good song on that album. I don't know. The rest of it feels very, I don't know how to put it, amateur YouTuber music. Like, at least, you know, at the time when he'd released it, a lot of YouTubers are doing like pop, hip hop kind of stuff, you know, very cookie cutter shit. So, like, I'll give him credit there. At least it doesn't feel like that kind of shit that you've heard 1,000 times with the fucking field mob snare and whatever fucking else. Like, at least it's not that, but it still feels very amateur, you know? I don't know what happened with Anything. It has a strong melody. The lyrics are, they work, they fit. The mixing is really good. And compared to everything else on this album, like, Anything is like fucking miles above everything else on this album. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm so disappointed. This is probably my most disappointing purchase that I made when I bought these 6 albums from SoundCloud. Anything is the only... I love Anything. Anything is super fucking good. It is by far a great song. It stands among professional musicians. I don't know what happened to the rest. Anything is saving this album. It's not F tier. Only because of Anything. Everything else. But because of everything else, I'd probably put it D tier, E tier. I don't know. It's not great. I'll play you the next song just after Anything. It's not a great way. Like, Anything probably should have been maybe the first or last song on this album. But it's not. It's kind of second to last, I think. Third to last. You can see it there. I'll play the next song, and it starts off pretty cringe, to be honest.
1, 2. This is so weird. Don't you know there was a time these decisions were not mine and I was sent for help?
Yeah, there you go. And that sort of gives you a sense of his singing style. I don't know. I guess that singing style worked for Anything, but for the most part, his singing style kind of feels very, I don't know. It feels like he doesn't really... It feels very monotone, you know? He doesn't really want... He's not excited to be singing. So anyways, that's an Unkindness, D tier, E tier, whatever, low rating. Next, I'll go ahead and review Dead Pirates. Dead Pirates was just a random song that got recommended to me on the YouTube algorithm. Once again, years ago. I think all of these, a lot of these songs a lot of these albums came from quite a long time ago. Probably back in 2016. They had a pretty cool music video that kind of had sort of a classic animation style to it, kind of like Cuphead's animation style, you know, that like 1950s kind of cartoon style to it. I don't think it was using traditional media like Cuphead had done. I think it was just emulating that style, but it wasn't actually rendered in that style. But either way, it was a pretty cool music video, and I think I liked the music itself just fine. So I discovered them from their song UGO, which I'll just go ahead and play a clip for you now. Or maybe it's supposed to be Uggo. I think it's supposed to be Uggo, to be honest. But anyways, I'm going to play that. I like their warbly guitar. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like their warbly guitar, and they use that warbly guitar throughout the whole album. And I think it's a pretty cool, unique sound that is interesting for the album itself. I'd say overall, Uggo is definitely probably the more interesting song on the album. Once again, that's probably why it got recommended to me in the YouTube algorithm, because that was their song that was the most popular, and most people realized it was the most popular because it was the best song on the album. But anyways, the rest of the album is not bad. Unlike in Unkindness, where there's such a huge division between their single that was super good and then the rest of the album, which is really bad. I would say Dead Pirates is not quite as diverse. Uggo, UGO, whatever it is, definitely the best song on the album, but it's still the rest of the album is still pretty okay. So I don't know. I'd say B tier, C tier, maybe low B tier, high C tier, somewhere around there. It's all right. It's an okay album. I will say that the intro song on the album sucks. The intro song gives a terrible first impression. I would just say skip the intro song altogether. It's very repetitive, super fucking repetitive. It sucks. So next album, I'm gonna skip Jan Blomkist, whatever, for just a second. I'll come back to him. So I already talked about the Flashbulb. The next artist I want to talk about is Roy Kusop. Roy Kusop is actually a band I have really, really loved for a long time. They use a lot of analog synthesizers in their music. It's very much about the sounds and the production. It's not really about the musical writing. The musical writing is pretty simple. Their music is more about the sound and the production, and I fucking love it. By far, top 5 albums in my life I just could not live without is their, and I've already forgotten the name. I don't know why. Top 5 album, and I can't remember the name. I think it's the end of, what is it? The Inevitable End, right? I can't even fucking spell their name correctly.
The war.
Stop. Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, it is the inevitable end. Okay. Anyways, inevitable end. I love this album to fucking death. There's so many good songs. It's hard to pick one, but anyways, I'm gonna pick Here She Comes Again. Again. Funny enough. Again. It's about the sound, the production, and the synths. It's not really about the writing, so keep that in mind. I think this song is super fucking cool.
Here she comes again, covered up in black.
Oh man, I love this song so much. It's so good. Anyways, so this was, for the longest time, I thought this was their last album. This album released in, what does it say there? It's 2014, right? It's not labeled in, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. 2014. 2014. So it was released back in 2014, and I thought that was the end of Roy Kuso. But actually, they started independently publishing their music on Bandcamp, which was interesting. I didn't know that. So after this album, they started going independently. I think this one was The Inevitable End. The track I just played was actually published by a label, but then they went independent after that. And I found them, and so I purchased one of their more recent albums. And I'm not gonna lie here. The album that I purchased definitely feels like lower budget. Like when they had a label, I think they definitely had a higher budget for making their music. The album that I purchased has less vocalists in it. I do believe it's a pair of brothers who make up Roy Kuso, and then they hire like singers and stuff for a lot of their vocal tracks. And in The Inevitable End, the album I just played, all the tracks, other than maybe the first track. No, I think even the first track has vocals. I think every track has vocals in The Inevitable End. But the album that I purchased, not all the tracks have vocals. That's okay. We're there for the cool synths and production and EDM stuff. But still, anyways, I'll play a short preview from one of my favorite songs.
Vitriolic pieces before the signs of where we'll show. I'm one of the people who never agree.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I love Roy Kuso. They make really fucking cool music, so I don't know. They're gonna be high up there. This is definitely not my favorite album by them. The Inevitable End is definitely fucking top tier. So I don't think any other album can really compete very well with that. But I'd probably say this is B tier. Yeah, A tier maybe. High B tier, low A tier. So, and then I just want to talk about the last one, which is Jan Blomqvist. He's a German producer. I just discovered him. When I was picking up Roy Kuso's album, as most modern websites do, there was a recommendation algorithm. And they're like, oh, if you like Roy Kuso, you might like this guy, Jan Blomqvist, whatever it is. And I previewed one of the tracks from his most recent album, and I was like, yeah, that sounds a lot like Roy Kuso stuff. And I liked it. So it does actually have its own feeling, but it also still has kind of that very synth-heavy vibe. So I'll play a preview of it real quick from one of my favorite songs, which would be I gotta pee again. The robot test. There it is. I'm too fucking drunk to dance anyways. Yeah, but anyways, it's a pretty cool song. I think by far out of all of my purchases here, I think actually this winds up being my favorite purchase. Mute by Jan Blom, whatever, it's his German name, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, this guy, it's pretty cool. Mute, pretty great album. I really like it a lot. It's got some pretty cool songs. He uses a lot of reverb and a lot of very synth-heavy stuff. I like it. It fits the vibe, you know? It's like very heavily produced stuff, but it still has its own identity. It doesn't just become cookie-cutter pop shit, you know? So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got its own vibe. I love the reverb that he uses. It feels kind of very supermassive, very long, airy tails on the reverb in basically all the songs. It's got a, like I said, very particular vibe to it. And so that basically covers all the music that I purchased, which I've been listening to while I work on my game, particularly while I work on the forest level that we were working on a track for the boss for that level. Anyways, so with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me for this music making stream. I know we've kind of petered out here at the end while I just talk about music that I've been listening to. I kind of meant to space that out a little bit, but got distracted. This has been fun. I know we didn't really make a lot of music. When it comes to music production stuff, like when I'm writing music, it's very much a me kind of thing. In the past, a long time ago, I tried doing music production streams, and it's always difficult because I want to talk about what I'm doing, and that kind of slows things down a lot. So, but when I'm just focused on just making music and not talking and streaming and whatever, you know, things go a little bit faster and go a little bit smoother. But either way, it's still, I do enjoy sharing this stuff. These are all my new toys, my 3 new toys. I have my Mini Logue, which I've made quite a lot of use of, and my Arturia Key Lab, which I've definitely made a lot of use of, and my TRBX bass, which I play a lot. It doesn't get featured in a lot of my music yet, but I do spend a lot of time just dicking around with it, plucking some strings, whatever. Practicing it. So I really love this bass quite a lot. It feels really nice to play. I love its big, dumb, stupid... Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Hang on. I love its big, dumb, stupid pickups. These pickups are so cartoonishly huge. I don't fucking know why they're so big, but I fucking love them. They're great. So, anyways. But yeah, I love all these instruments. Let's see, I've been fucking with some tracks while lurking. Yeah, no problem, man. You know, the one thing I do like about a lot of, like, indie music and, like, music YouTubers, I don't actually watch that many music YouTubers because, as I talked about when I was complaining about the Akai garbage, is that most musicians don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So there's very few musician YouTube channels that I actually watch. It usually just feels like shilling for different products or whatever. But the few that I do watch, I really enjoy them, and they often inspire me to like want to create more. Like I watch a video of them playing around with something and I say, yeah, I want to do that too. There's only 2 music YouTubers that I'm really subscribed to. I've already talked about one of them, Ben Jordan. I love Ben Jordan. The Flashbulb. We reviewed one of his albums earlier. Ben Jordan is super great. I think he's interesting to watch, even if you're not a musician, although there's more to appreciate if you are a musician. because he does talk about just whatever the fuck he wants. He's not doing YouTube to be a YouTuber. He's already had a successful career, and he's just doing YouTube because he likes talking about cool shit. So yeah, I think Ben Jordan's very interesting. Whenever he does talk about music, he always gets me hyped up to play music. The other person I more recently kind of discovered was Ben Halowitz, I think is how it's pronounced, Ben Halowitz, who often takes like scrapped or long forgotten children's toys, scrapped instruments, whatever, and like kind of recovers them and samples them. And it's always an interesting video because he doesn't just sample it, but he talks about the history of the instrument, and shows and gives a few samples, and I think that's pretty cool. One of the last time I showed off some like lo-fi beat song that I made, and that was actually using one of his sample libraries. Anyways, yeah, so Ben Halowitz, I like his stuff as well. It's often a YouTuber that makes me feel inspired to make something after watching his videos. Especially whenever he releases a new sample pack, I'm always kind of giddy to go download the new sample pack and kind of play around with it. Refractions, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Refractions, which was the software effect that I was using at the very top of the stream on my synth preset that I accidentally overwrote. Refractions is written by Ben Halowitz. That's his own software plugin that he wrote. It was pretty cheap, which is nice, by the way, because the software plugin market industry, whatever you want to fucking call it, is filled with fucking overpriced shit. It's the one thing that actually I was talking about Arturia's effect bundles, and it's the one thing that's holding me back is that like they're like, I don't know, 3 knob chorus plugins by Arturia that cost $100. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like a at best a $15 plugin. It's so crazy how much people charge. Obviously, they do that because they want you to buy the bundle, and the bundle they can inflate its value by saying, oh, it comes with 50 fucking effects, but like 60% of those effects are either useless or really fucking basic and not interesting. And it's the one thing that's holding me back from buying that bundle. It's like, I don't want to spend $600 on a software bundle where maybe 5 of the effects I actually find valuable. Anyways, that's beside the point. Refractions is pretty cool. It was priced pretty cheaply, and I thought it was pretty. I thought it had some pretty interesting properties. I talked about earlier that I have a lot of trouble finding actual use cases for refractions in my own music, but the concept behind refractions is pretty cool. So, anyways, Ben Jordan. Ben Jordan is fucking flashbulb. Jordan Halowitz? What the fuck is his name? Holy shit. Halowitz. Something Halowitz. Fuck. I can't remember. James? Is it James Halowitz? Where is it? I don't know. Oh, wait, I just passed it. David, holy shit. David Halowitz. David Halowitz is his name. Is it Halowitz? Hillowitz, whatever. What did I miss here from Wrath? Basses have big gnarly pickups. So I grew up, believe it or not, and it's the reason why I guess I favor the bass over guitar. When I was in high school, I played bass, not well, because I was a fucking high schooler and my mom had bought the bass. Actually, I think it's my dad. Doesn't matter who. A family member had bought the bass, and so I obviously didn't put enough effort into practicing it. But either way, I did play it some, and that bass had pretty normal pickups on it. This one has big dumb pickups. These are so big. Oh no, my headphones. Let me pull this forward. Look at how stupid huge these fucking pickups are. They're so big. I don't know why they're so big, but I love them. So dumb. They are humbucker pickups, but even still, like my dad had my dad has well, my dead dad. My dead dad has a Gibson Les Paul, and it has humbucker pickups. But even those humbucker pickups, nowhere near the size of these fucking humbucker pickups. They're so stupid huge. I love them. They must have a ton of copper in them, maybe. More phasers and flangers. Yeah, I only fuck with tempo sync modulation. Decent sampler it's. Yeah, decent sampler it's. Exactly. Bigger pickups equal bigger sound. Yeah. Anyways. There's extra space in there for comedic effects, that's for sure. Dude, yeah. Dude, these pickups are so fucking huge. Anyway, I have my dumpster bass. Hang on, let's compare. I have my dumpster bass. One of the strings is undone. It's not broken. I just undid the string. So here are the pickups. Like these are normal single coil pickups, right? And like I'm pretty sure I've seen humbuckers that are more like 1.5 times this size, but like I swear to God, these are. Boy, man, that looks like more than 2 times the size. Hang on. Here we go. Let's see. OBS, help me out here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. These pickups are fucking huge, man. I don't know why they're so big. They're so stupid huge. It's dumb. I love them. Let's see. Yamaha owns design prob. Humbuckers are just 2 single coil. Yeah, I know. I know what a humbucker is, but yeah. But like it's too. But like there's a lot of extra plastic or housing around it. Like you could probably, like if you look at the. I don't want to grab the dumpster base again. The dumpster base. Like there's a lot of plastic housing around the actual pickups itself. If you wanted to squeeze 2 coils in there, it probably doesn't need that much housing around it. So it would probably only be like 1.5 times larger rather than a full doubling of it, right? But this actually feels like a full doubling, if not more so, of the size. So, anyways, the TRBX is stupid. It's a stupid pickups, but I love this bass. Anyways, what's cool are P90s that are fat single coils with a ton of wire on it. I don't know. I just wanted a bass. To me, when I went to go buy a bass, I just wanted a bass that was comfortable to play. Like when I picked up my dumpster bass, I didn't expect it to have a good sound. And that's fine. I use a lot of software and shit to whatever to correct the sound. I don't care about whatever sound it outputs. Would I like a nice sounding bass? Of course. But what's more important is something that feels nice to play. And actually, so I actually bought this new, unlike all of my, this and this, which are both purchased used. The TRBX was actually purchased brand new. And that's because I had actually gone to a shopping mall. Believe it or not, those exist in Japan, and they are actually thriving, unlike in America. And I actually gone there to take care of something else, but there was a music store there, and I just was staring at the TRBX, and I was just like, that's a beautiful bass guitar. I like its big stupid pickups. The big stupid pickups are what caught my attention. The big stupid pickups are what sold me. So I looked up some reviews on it, and all the reviews are like, for a beginner's bass, it's good. It's good. It's a good beginner's bass. And so all the reviews were telling me it's good, so I decided, fuck it. I'll buy it. It was a good deal too, because it included, for basically a little bit more than the price of the bass itself, it included a pretty nice amp. I'll show it to you. Ooh, my amp just fell. the padding. So this is the amp here. It's actually a Japanese brand, despite having a pretty English name, which is Lewis. I can't turn it on, but it's a pretty nice amp. It comes with some built-in presets, which are here. You have like different distortion types, whatever. So those are all just presets, but you could of course tune that in with your own knobs. And then you also have a few effects. You have modulation effects. It's all on one knob, so you have like starting with a chorus, and then it moves into a flanger, and then a phaser, and then a tremolo. So you just turn this knob. It's all pretty basic. It's not super nice, but it's not like super great effects, but it's nice to have them. And then over here you have like delay, which eventually becomes a reverb. So it's all pretty simple. The main thing I really like is it has a built-in compressor, which is right here hiding underneath the cable. So the built-in compressor is, it's once again just like all the other effects. It's not like a super nice compressor, but it's good to have. So anyways, it came with that for not much more than the base price of the bass. The base price of the bass. Anyways, for the cost of the bass. So I wound up just picking that up, getting the amplifier with it. It's pretty cool. I like that bass. Compressor is nice on bass. Yeah, I'd still probably use a software compressor, but at least the built-in compressor on that at least tames the peaks. That's really all it's kind of there for, is just to tame the peaks. But as far as adding a character to it, the built-in compressor on that amp is not really good for adding character. Fuck, what else was I talking about? I was talking about purchasing that. I don't know. All of this stuff, these are like my newest purchases: Mini Logue, Key Lab, TRBX. I actually purchased some more music equipment. I need to stop. Stop me, please. Stop me. Stop me from spending money. I told you that I have this really cool song. There's going to be a vocal track to it, and it's actually, I'm working with a person who lives nearby. They're going to be recording it here in my house. I have my AT2020, which is what I usually do my streams on, and I have my Cascade, which is what we're currently using right now, which is a ribbon microphone. I actually don't like this Cascade. I didn't buy it. When my dad passed away, and we were cleaning out his estate, I noticed it was a ribbon microphone, and ribbon microphones are usually pretty expensive, so I went ahead and took it. But honestly, I've used it for like recording my bass and stuff, and I don't know, I really just don't like the tone. It kind of has a metallic tone to it. Has this metallic tone to it. The brightness just sounds, I say brightness, but it's not really that bright, which is usually what ribbon mics are known for. It feels, I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like the character of the microphone very much. It's fine, but it is free. So anyways, so I don't really have any good vocal recording mics, so actually I just purchased today, coincidentally, earlier today. I convinced myself when I shouldn't have. I really shouldn't have. I need to stop buying music gear. I wound up buying an SM58 and 57. I bought the 57 for my bass amp because I don't like how this Cascade records. I was going to use this Cascade for recording the amp, but like I just said, I don't like the Cascade's tone at all. Cascade sucks. So SM57 is great for recording instruments, particularly guitars. It's been the longest used microphone for recording instruments ever. So I bought a used SM57. They're pretty cheap. I think I bought mine for about $50. It was used, of course. And then also an SM58. SM58s, I was sort of surprised. I thought they would be even more cheaper because everyone wants to record their voice, and especially here in Japan where karaoke is so popular. And I figured, the SM58 would be super ubiquitous. But surprisingly, it was actually closer to like $70 used. But anyways, I bought an SM58 and an SM57. The SM58 is for recording vocals. Whenever I'll have the vocalist come here to record. In addition to that, also, I talked about earlier, kind of at the top of the stream, that like this setup is not entirely ideal. Ideally, I'd like to have a microphone that's like next to my computer, which I have to do this little, which you can't see, but you can see the keyboard. So the screen, you can kind of see a little bit of the screen here. Anyways, the screen is right here, right? So I'd like to have like a microphone over there too when I was like talking and doing computer stuff over there. But unfortunately, I only have my one complete audio. That's what it's called. Complete audio DAC, which has technically it has 4 inputs, but only 2 of them are usable at a time. So anyways, and so one input is the mic, the other input is the synth. So it was not ideal. So I wound up buying literally just before I started the stream. I bought the microphones earlier today in the morning, and then just before starting the stream in the evening, I was looking at used Yamaha mixing boards. I watched some reviews on the Yamaha outboard mixing gear, and it all reviewed pretty well. So I bought a used Yamaha MGX, I think is what it's called. It was really cheap. It also said it was untested, so hopefully the really cheap price doesn't bite me in the ass. They said they plugged it in to make sure it gets power, and that's it. When I went to my dad's to clean out his house of music gear, number one, he has a ton of SM58s and 57s that I wish I had picked up while I was there, but I didn't. Oh well, my loss. But he also had a mixing board that I wound up taking home with me. I wish I hadn't. I wish I had taken those SM58s and 57s home with me instead of the mixing board, because the mixing board was clearly cheap garbage that had a lot of noise in it. So, oh well. It was totally useless. I don't know how he used it. He didn't even use it in his main setup, actually. He kept it downstairs where he plugged his iPod into it. So he probably just cranked up the volume of his iPod to where he couldn't even hear the noise in it anymore, the signal anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. SM57, 58 is the only mic I'd try. Yeah. Mixers. So here's why I want the mixer, is because I have all this outboard gear now. And so basically, and when I'd taken that mixer home from my dad's, and wound up throwing it away because it was totally useless. It had way too much noise in its signal. Basically, what I wanted to do is plug all my outboard gear into it, and then have the output of the mixer go into my DAC. So that way I could do the mixing on the mixer, and then I could, adjust the volumes of all the instruments there. And then I don't have to worry too much about the DAC. Just the DAC is receiving the signal to go into my audio interface, and that's it. So I wanted to do that, and so that's why I wound up buying this Yamaha mixing board. I was looking at some of their newer stuff. Their newer stuff has like effects and stuff built into it, and they're not bad. I was actually watching reviews and previews of the effects built into their mixing boards, and I would have liked that. And they're not super expensive. It was like maybe $150, which is not too bad. But I've spent a stupid amount of money on music gear when I really shouldn't be. So I wound up buying a much older model. I think the model of the mixing board came out in 2005. Like I said, it was marked as only tested for power. They didn't have any equipment to test whether it actually has a good signal or not out of any of the outputs. But it was super cheap, and they could at least confirm it gets power. So hopefully whenever that arrives, it's okay. It's like a model from maybe I think it was 2005. They showed the serial code. I didn't actually look up the serial code, but judging by how most serial numbers are written, I do believe it was released in 2005. So it's pretty old equipment. But as long as I can plug in my microphones into it, or plug in my instruments into it, and then have an output that I can plug into my DAC, that's really all I need. The effects are cool. I think the effects would be fun while I'm streaming because they are real-time effects. I could just push the button and have reverb on my voice, which would be fun during streams and stuff like that, but not super necessary. I got an 8-channel Blast King. I can only really record 2 tracks at a time. I split left and right channels. Yeah, there's some cheap options too. There's a lot of especially now actually, there's a lot of podcasting mixers out there that are super cheap. In fact, coincidentally, Yamaha has a really super cheap podcast mixer. I was looking at some of those, but the thing is they don't have that many inputs in them. It's very similar to what you're talking about, where you could probably only record 2 at a time because, it's podcasting, so you'd have the host and the guest microphone, and that's pretty much it. I thought about that, but I really just kind of want one mixer that hopefully I'll just never have to replace ever. The mixer that I bought, I think, is technically 12 channels, but the 11, 12, and 9 and 10 channels are stereo channels, so they're kind of mixed together. So, which is fine. I could still use them, but that definitely means channels 1 through 8 are all mono channels for plugging instruments into, or microphones or whatever. And that's what I really need. And I think that's going to be more channels than I ever need in my life. It might just make things more convenient. I will eventually have my dad's guitars as well. My dad has a bunch of nice guitars. But they were too big and bulky to bring back with me when I went to go clean out his estate, last year. So my mom has them right now, and eventually she will, once we can make arrangements, my mom will ship them to me here in Japan, and I'll have them. So, having all those channels, I'll have a channel for my synth, for my microphones, for my bass, and for my guitar, so I can be super lazy and just never unplug anything, just crank the volume down and be like, I don't want to record that, I just want to record this, and I can be super lazy about it. Let's see. Budget mixers like mine have controls on half the channels. Channels after 4 have no EQ. Actually, it's this kind of the same way for the Yamaha mixer I picked. Actually, I'm not sure about this older model. When I was reviewing the current gen model of this Yamaha mixer, it seems like channels 1 through 4 have the most controls, and then 6 and 8 have some controls, and then 9, 10, 11, and 12 have basically no controls for them other than volume and gain, and that's it. So anyways, yeah, it's kind of the same here too, but it's fine. I don't know about since I bought a very older version of it, it might be different. things have gotten shittier with time, so I wouldn't be surprised if this much older model may not have the nicer technology, but winds up having nicer controls. We'll have to see. I'll also have to see if it even fucking works at all, because, to repeat the point, the listing for it just said, it gets power, but we don't have anything to test whether the outputs actually work. So it could just be a noisy, garbled mess, and I just wasted my money. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyways, gosh, this has been fun. I love talking about music. I could probably do this all day, which is why I wanted to do this today. I've been looking forward to doing this, but I've been having trouble with internet stuff. I finally got it fixed. Dude came out here and checked the internet and did whatever needed to be replaced. So it's working now. It's stable now. I was able to stream last week, which seemed to be just a stroke of luck, because shortly after that stream, my internet went down and was basically down throughout most of last week until I got it fixed. So anyways, I had been wanting to do this, but because of my internet situation, I hadn't been able to do this music stream thing, but we finally got around to it. I wound up doing it today because I didn't have a thumbnail planned or made for today's game stream. I do have a game that I had planned to play today, but I was busy today and didn't have time to make the thumbnail. However, because I had been planning to do this music stream for a while now, I already had the thumbnail made. So it was just easier to just use that thumbnail and make that today's stream. I will try to, sometime this week, actually have a normal game stream. So hopefully that'll happen. I don't want to make promises because it seems like every time I make a promise where I'm going to play the game, something comes up and then I can't play it. So I'm not even going to make a promise. But anyways, there might be a bonus stream that would actually be more like my normal stream this week. Maybe later on. But for now, that's going to be it for this stream. So Wrath and Slotty and anyone else who joined me on this journey, which is a little bit different than normal, thanks so much for coming along and listening to me talk about music. It's something I very much enjoy chatting about. So thank you. And until next time, bye.